I think I'm here. Oh my gosh, I think I made it. Wow! Thank God for small miracles. Okay, let me see if I show up over here. But I think I am live. It's saying I'm live, people. I don't know.
Gosh, I think I made it.
Yep.
Wow.
I did make it. Okay, let me mute myself.
Small miracle.
All right, everybody. It looks like I made it. I can't believe it. How is everybody? Happy Sunday. Happy that we made it to YouTube Live Day. Let me get back up. I'm getting to this different view here. Okay, yeah. So yes, hello. Welcome everybody. Welcome back. It's finally cooled off here. It's in the low 90s, so it's much better than it's been. I've been super busy. I don't know, this Mars in Virgo has been kicking my butt. Like, I get up early in the morning and like I do a lot of work on the channel or on my emails. Like, hopefully the email autoresponders will be better, because I know a lot of you have been like kind of confused. You're like, other than like when the live streams happen, you're like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. I don't know where the replays are. I don't, you know what I mean? So I'm trying to like tighten that up for you and get that out and get that done. And then I'm like doing other classes at night, and then like I had a tarot party last night, so I'm a little and I'll warn you, the presentation, the graphics, all over the place. I was just in one of those moods where I could not be consistent with my graphics. They're just the you know, all the information's there, but it's like the graphics are this way and that way and this way, and you'll see what I'm talking about when we get going with that. So tonight I want to talk about, I called it Divination Techniques. I really should have called it Reading for Yourself Techniques, because that's really what it's going to be about. It's about reading for yourself, how to read for yourself, because reading for yourself can be good because, one, there's like no pressure, but then it can be bad because you don't always, you have to get out of your own way, and you don't know if you're getting in your own way, and you don't know if like you're just seeing what you want to see, or like sometimes you'll scare yourself because you'll just see the worst, you know. So we're going to be talking about some techniques so that you can get past yourself and be able to read for yourself. So that's the plan. So my chat thing over in my other streaming software, it's not there. Let me see if there's, okay, yep, people are there. Julia's here, Leslie, hello everybody. I think I can put this chat back in my software. Let me try this real quick. So just hang on while I try to pop the chat back in here, over here. Let me see. Da, 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 da. Oh my gosh, all this technology. Thursday night, like I had to like go out and go drink a beer and eat some appetizers because I was like, get away from the computer, get away from it. Yep, okay, here my chat is here. Good, okay. All right, so I think everybody can hear me. I think we're good. I think we can start the presentation about Divination Techniques for Yourself. So there we go. Okay, so, and like I said, this bear with the presentation because it's a little over the top. It's a little sensationalistic, let's put it. And like I said, the graphic style, not consistent. It's just, I'm all over the place, but you know, it's one of those days. So let's get started. If I can get to the next, okay. So first, what I wanted to talk about is the oracular sentence. And this is going to be a 3-card layout. And I've been trying to give you guys exercises that you can do on a daily basis. Like if you want to pull 1 card, that's cool. If you want to pull a couple cards, that's cool. I gave you the method where you choose 1 card and pull 1 card and reflect at the end of the day. So this is another one of those. And this comes from this book up here, Tarot Face to Face by Marcus Katz and Tally Goodwin. This is a good book. There's a lot of different spreads and a lot of good exercises in there. So this, and you'll see that I've changed it a little bit, the oracular sentence, but that's where I just wanted to give credit where credit is due. So this exercise, you can do it if you want to do it as like part of your journaling, you can do it at the beginning of the day. You can do it at the end of the day. If you're just beginning and you really don't know the cards that well, I would recommend you do it at the end of the day, because that way you have something to work with, because you look back and you go, okay, what was my day like? And have the cards tell you. But if you are better with your definitions, then you can do it at the beginning of the day. And this exercise will help you attune to the dialect of tarot, which I talked about in some of our other presentations, how the cards don't talk to you like somebody else, like somebody would talk to you, like they'd call you up and say, hey, meet me over here at 8 o'clock tomorrow. They don't talk like that. They talk in like weird haiku or weird fortune cookie language or whatever. So this exercise will help you attune to that kind of odd, stilted, poetic fortune cookie, haiku, whatever language you want to call it, and also to the dialect of your particular deck, because every deck is going to be different. But I think most people in this class are using the same deck, so that's that. So what you do is you have 3 cards laid out, and so you separate the deck into the 3 sections. So you have all the court cards in one pile, all the major arcana in another pile, and all the minor arcana in another pile. And so basically the way it's going to work for you grammar Nazis, and if you don't like grammar, don't panic. You don't have to think of it this way, but for people who think in terms of grammar, it's like your court card's going to be a noun or a subject. The major arcana card is going to be a verb, and the minor arcana card is going to be an adverb or a descriptive word that describes how or where or why or something like that. So don't panic too much with the grammar. And then just before we move on, I want to say in the book he has it kind of switched in order. He has major card, minor card, then court card. But for me, it just flows better this way. So that's why I say play with it, do with it. You can read it for yourself. You can read it for other people. You can just ask it to tell you about something, to give you a sentence about something. So the point is to lay out the cards and practice doing it, and then you will get better, and you'll get better at your storytelling. So let me see what the next card. Okay, yeah. So let me switch to the card cam, and we will do this. Okay. So card cam. All right. So I have it all laid out already. So I have court cards here, major arcana cards here, and then the minor arcana card here. So basically what you do, you don't even really need to ask a question, because this is an oracular sentence. So an oracular sentence is like something where it's like I said, like a fortune cookie, and it says, the wisest people are those who love their family, or whatever the cookie's going to say. So you get a sentence like that. So you just pull the first one, and it's a court card. So you can say something like, the Queen of Rods, who is very creative. I like to put a little clausal statement that describes that court card. So you can say, the Queen of Rods, who is very creative. And then we go, so the Fool card, so starts off on a new adventure. And then the last card is the 8 of Swords. So then we have to say something about it. So she starts out on the adventure, like where, why, how's it going, whatever. So you could just say something really simple, like with her eyes closed, since this card has a blindfolded person. You could say with fixed ideas. Starts off on a new adventure, but she's stuck. You can do something like that, because you can continue the story. But this is a way to kind of learn storytelling with tarot. And then, like I said, learn some statements that you can make about any of these cards when they come up. You need to be able to quickly have something come to mind and just be able to throw it out there and say it. So let me do one more, and then I'll check in and I'll see if there are any questions. So here's another one. So we go. Let me turn these so that they just don't distract you. If you can even see them. Oh yeah, you can see them. Okay. So let me fix my piles. They're not looking good. Okay. So here we go. So the King of Rods. The King of Rods, who rules with warm sincerity, is a hermit. He's a hermit because he thinks he has to do everything himself. Okay, so that's how it works. So let me pop over to the chat and see if we have any questions on what I just did. Chat. Okay. So, okay, hello, Candace. Leslie says, what deck are we meant to be using? Leslie, as long as you have a deck that is based on the Rider-Waite, that is fine. So, because one, it's probably the most well-known deck, and there's the most conversation around it. So if you pick an obscure deck, it's going to be harder for you to learn, because when people are talking about it, it's like they're talking about something different. They're talking about different images. And so like this one that I have here, this is the new Palladini that is based on the Rider-Waite. I also have the Radiant Tarot. So it's exactly the Rider-Waite. It just has different coloration on the pictures, which I appreciate it, because many people do not like the coloring on the Rider-Waite, and I'm one of those people. So yeah. So anything that, as long as it has pictures on the Ace through 10 cards, that lets you know that it's based on the Rider-Waite. If it doesn't, if it just has like 5 cups or 7 swords or something, that's not what you want. You want ones with pictures on the Ace through 10 cards. So I hope that answers that question. Okay, so any questions about that technique and how that works? So it might, I'm sure at first it's going to be like, what do I say? It's just, and like I've said before, it's like learning a foreign language. When you first learn it, you can't speak it very well. You sound like a 2-year-old, and you have to be willing to sound like a 2-year-old. So, but like I say, you can just practice it with yourself. Like if you do that every day, every day you tell a little story with the cards, and then you go, well, how does that show up in my life? That, you'll learn a lot. Leslie says, I have a couple of Rider-Waite Smith decks. So, okay, so you're good. So that's how this works. And then there's a second part, and like I said, because you can continue the story if you want. Let me switch back. Oh, Julia says, sounds fun. It is fun. And it's fun to do it for other people, because like you say weird, ominous things, and they're like, what? you know what I mean? And so that it'd be cool to see how it plays out in their life. Okay, so there's a second part. Let me get back to the presentation. So you can add on to the story, and then you can do a but. Now I ended up doing a but over here. Maybe it wasn't on this one. Maybe it was on another one, and that's okay. So don't feel so constricted that you can't like change your parts of speech around, or change, you know what I mean? Or kind of change the rules a little bit to fit the flow of the cards. But you can, like when you are having a story, you can then go ahead and add another set of 3 cards. So you can say, what did I say? The King of Rods, who is warm. What did I say? He's warm in something. I don't remember what he said. What I said is a hermit because he thinks he has to do everything himself. And then we can say, but. The Queen of Swords, who's very direct and to the point, is very headstrong and tells him like it is. You could do something like that. So it's like you're gonna like work with multiple layers here. Like you're gonna work with the storytelling, and like I said, really the easiest thing to do is grab something on the card. If there's something on the card that you can grab, which in this example there wasn't, and just try to just think of like adjectives or descriptives or something that you can throw out for the card that comes up. So that is that technique. Let me see if I said anything else. Yes. Okay, I repeated that for some reason. Oh, that's because I said but, and then we repeated. Okay. All right, so then I said, if nothing else, practice storytelling using this format. So even if you don't want to use it as any kind of predictive reading or whatever, you can just sit and do these. Like sit and do a few of these before you go to bed every night. Like do 5 of them and see how it goes, and you'll get better. You'll get more fluid, because that's what you want to be able to do, is be very fluid when you're reading the cards. And like I said, it's like learning a language. When you start out, you sound like a 2-year-old, but you get better, and then you sound like a normal adult. Okay, so this next technique is called choose your own adventure, and I just totally made this one up. So I think it's kind of cool because it's kind of like a vision boardy kind of thing with the tarot cards. So how this works is you're going to pick your top 10 cards that you want to experience at this point in time. So it's just kind of like, right now, if I could have my life be the way I want it to be, I'm going to pick these 10 cards that represent my life. And you're going to make a list of the cards and have them where you can see them, so that you remember what they are. So I did this. I went through and picked my 10 cards. I'm going to show them to you. Just let me pick these other ones up from the oracular sentence. Okay. Get rid of this. And we'll switch. We'll switch to card cam. All right, we're on card cam. We should be on card cam. All right, so my 10 cards, and let me just check the live and make sure. Okay. Are we on card cam? Have we switched? I hope we switched. Yes, we are on card cam. Wonderful. Okay, so my 10 cards are, I picked the King of Pentacles, the 10 of Pentacles, the Magician, the Fool, the 9 of Pentacles, the Knight of Cups, the Star, Temperance, 2 of Wands, and 3 of Cups. So that's what I picked. So just something to keep in mind. You can go through and you can like pick a bunch and then narrow down. But just something to keep in mind. You might want to kind of keep a balance of like Wands, Cups, Swords, and Pentacles and Major Arcana. Or maybe you don't. If you don't, that's cool too. But the issue is that the sword cards are kind of negative and problematic. Not to say that they don't have positive meanings, but they just don't look very good. Like, I'm going to pull a couple out just so that we can observe together. Like the Knight of Swords, that's not too bad. That just means like if you want to go kick somebody's ass and speak your mind, that would be a good one. That one's not too bad. The 6, the 8, like nobody really wants that in their life. The 10, another one. 2, it's not looking that great, The 3, like nobody wants that one either. So I would say probably the least, and maybe even none, would be the sword cards, for that very reason. If you understand what I'm saying. So don't feel bad if you don't pick any sword cards, because I would say even though they do have a positive aspect to them, you don't want to work with that negative image. That would be my advice. So anyway, so that's what you do, is you pick your 10 cards, and then what you're going to do, and I got a pickup card up off the floor, so you're going to hear my voice fade away. Okay, I got one. Okay, so what you're going to do is, let me go back to the presentation. So anyway, so that's what you do, is you pick your 10 cards. Every morning, you'll shuffle the cards and go through the deck face up until you find one of your top 10 cards. And then you're going to lay down the 2 cards before that card and that card that was in your top 10 for a total of 3 cards. So I'm going to go back to the card cam. and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So this is kind of like a create your day thing, or it's, and sorry for the loud shuffling, or it's kind of like a, it's like you need to keep your goals and your dreams and all your plans and stuff in front of your face. Otherwise, you're not gonna achieve them, because you're gonna get distracted by all your other obligations and pressures and interruptions from the world. So you know what I mean. So that, like, the world will love nothing more than to pull you off focus for what you really want, and have you serve their needs, other people's needs. So that's kind of what the idea here. That's why I say it's kind of a little bit like a vision board or something like that. Because it just keeps it in focus. What you want, or what you're intending, or what you're trying to draw to, you're keeping it in focus. So you shuffle, and then you go through and you look for, you keep going until you can see one of your cards. Okay, so that is the Fool card. So you are going to lay down the 2 cards before, which it just so happened that it turned out to be the top 3 cards in the deck. You lay them out, okay, and so then that's kind of like my little sentence for the day, or however you want to look at it. So let's get back to the presentation. So you can read these cards as past, present, and future, or present, blocks or breakthroughs, and the goal. And then I laid it out this way for you. So if I were to take this, I'm going to kind of move it. There we go. If I were to take this, then I could read that. I could read my 3 cards. So if I read it as past, present, and future, then I would go, okay, so like in the past, it was like I was always near the finish line, but not quite at the finish line, and then I would get overwhelmed. But now I'm starting a brand new phase. So that's something that I could concentrate on that. Be like, yeah, you know what? I think that's right. I think I do need to work on not becoming overwhelmed, and work on opening up this new phase. Or you could interpret it as present. This is the block or the breakthrough, and then this is the future. So it's a little bit of the same feeling. It's like, okay, right now I'm at this point where it's like, yeah, I'm nearing the finish line. I'm almost there. I just need to hang in there and be vigilant and just keep with it. And then the block once again could be like getting overwhelmed, feeling like there's too many options and that there's too much going on and I can't just focus on one thing. But the future is, hey, there's a new chapter. Just open up to everything in the new chapter. So does that make sense? Let me go to the chat. Okay, so okay, Leslie says yes. Perhaps she's answering my question about does that make sense. Hopefully you are. Okay, all right. So let's go back to the presentation. So does that make sense? Okay. So that's what we did. Does anybody have a question that they want to do with this? Well, we don't know what your top 10 cards are, but we could do an oracular sentence. Okay, Candace was saying yes. I don't know if you're saying yes to a question that you want to do. Does somebody have a question that you want to do with this? We won't do this one because I don't know what your top 10 are, but we can go back to the oracular sentence. Okay, Candace was saying yes. A few minutes delay. I should have little interim music for these parts. Okay, I'm not hearing anything, so I'm going to move on. Moving on. Okay. So here is this is letters from the subconscious. So how this works, and I forgot to get envelopes out. I will. Let me see. I think I have one. Oh, I've got some here. Thank God, because I didn't put them out. Okay, so this is the perfect method for if you are like you're asking a question and you really want to know the answer and you're really nervous about the outcome and you're kind of scared of the outcome, or you just like you don't want to like see one thing and then get disappointed, you know, all that kind of stuff where you're like messing with your own self around the whole thing. So what you're going to do is you're basically going to blindfold yourself so that you can actually see what's there or what your intuition is telling you, which like I'm not going to say that's 100% the truth, but you're going to get intuitive information about the situation or the question, and you don't have to worry about, oh, like, did I just say that because I want it to be that way, or, you know. And like I said, like I know I've scared myself before, like I'll be like, oh my God, like terrible things are going to happen. So this is a way to totally work with that situation. So what you do is you need 3 envelopes and you have 3 questions. So you have the one question, the one that's really like hanging you up and you're like, oh, I really need an answer, but I'm scared of the answer or whatever. I'm scared I'm going to fake myself out on this. And then you need 2 other questions that are going to serve as decoys. But these decoy questions, they need to be real questions too. They cannot be frivolous questions because it's going to mess the whole thing up if you do that. So it's something that you want to know the answer to, but that's not as so like, I need to know the answer. You know, it's just something that you do want to know, but not something frivolous like, you know, I don't know, like something that you just don't really care that much about. Like, is the such and such team going to win the Super Bowl or something, and you don't follow football and you really don't care and you don't follow sports teams, you know, don't ask something frivolous, just ask something for real. And so then so this is where I say I was getting like really melodramatic with these slides. I don't know why, I just did. So then you call in the fates, and so what you do is you write each question down on a separate piece of paper, and I'll demonstrate all this for you. And you put them in the envelopes, and then you mix the envelopes, and then you shuffle the cards, and then you sight unseen, you put 1 card in each envelope. So let me switch to the card cam, and I will demonstrate. So basically, let me get my stuff out that I did not get out ahead of time. And we did something like this it was a variation of this at the very beginning in March. So you remember like our ABC envelopes? This is a variation of that exercise, but we're not doing it exactly that way, so I'm taking this off. Okay, so So what you would do, let me grab a pen. Okay, so you would write your question. So this is question number 1. Okay, so you write your question, and then you fold it, and then you put it in an envelope. Oh, see, and I already have some cards in here. And then you're going to do question 2. Right, so you're going to actually write a question, but I'm not going to take the time to like make up questions right now. And you put it in an envelope. And then you do question 3. I have to make sure you guys can see me. Question 3. And you put it in an envelope. And then you take your envelopes and you mix them up. And mix them up, mix. Okay, I'm mixing the envelopes. So I don't know which envelope is which question. I don't know what is what. And then we'll shuffle the cards. And then you take your envelopes and you mix them up. Mix them up, mix. All right, so then we shuffle. And so then just sight unseen. I'm not going to look at this card. I'm putting it in there. And I'm going to put another one. Just put it in there. I did not look at it. And put another one in there. Okay. Okay, so we put them sight unseen into each envelope. Then let's go back to the presentation. Then we will shuffle the envelopes, pick one envelope, and then you're going to get quiet and put your hand on the envelope. And then you're going to free write, and you could write on the envelope if you want to, but if you want to reuse the envelope, then do it on another piece of paper. Free write what you are hearing, seeing, feeling, remembering. And you might want to pick a concentration point in the room. So let me go back to card cam. Okay, so move that. All right, so you're going to shuffle your envelopes again, and then you're going to pick one. Okay, so I'm picking this envelope, and I don't know what's in there, so I'm just going to put my hand on. And this is the way I do it. You may develop a different way to do it, and that's totally cool. But I'm going to put my hand on there, and I'm going to get quiet, and I might even close my eyes, and then I'm just going to let images and thoughts and music and memories and whatever come to me, and I'm just gonna write it down. I'm gonna be like, oh, okay, I remember a playground, you know, and then blah blah blah. You can write more about it and stuff. And if you're having a hard time coming up with stuff to write down, then you can pick a focal point. You can pick something in your room or that's around you to focus on. So like, and it can be anything. Like I have this little alligator thing here. You know, I can just stare. I can just be like, okay, I'm gonna really focus on this alligator right now. I'm like, what do I notice about this alligator? And I'm like, oh, he has yellow eyes, you know, and they look kind of golden, so you can say, okay, golden eyes, and those golden eyes are making me think that he's really not mean. So you can say really not mean, and then you're like, oh, and then there's this pattern on his back, like pattern of squares. Okay, so there's a pattern of squares. And like, oh, okay, and so like, what does that make me feel of? Okay, it makes me feel like it makes me feel restricted, and like I can't get out, I can't grow. Okay, so whatever, like that, you're just gonna do like that kind of stuff. If you want to set a timer for yourself, you can do that. If you just want to do it till you're finished, you can do it. But then after you're done, you take your little paper here, and then you put it in the envelope, and then you do the same thing again with the other ones. And then when you're all done, you can go and you can like take out your card, and you can go, oh, okay, the card was the 10 of the wands, and here's my description. And then you can kind of like put it together and go, oh, okay, this is what I think the message about my question, which I have my question in there too. This is what I come up with. So that's a way for you to like filter a lot of stuff that you're going to do yourself that's going to throw yourself off when you're trying to read for yourself, especially if it's like a question that you're really attached to the outcome of the answer. So that's how that works. So are there any questions about that? Let me switch to the chat. Okay, Leslie said, will I get my cleaner? So that's how that works. And then Julia says, makes no sense, no quest. Will I get my cleaner? Leslie, if you want to like try to clarify that question, we can look at that with the oracular sentence. Oh, Leslie says no questions. Okay. Okay, so, and does anyone have any question about that Any of the stuff I've done up to this point? Okay, is that Miss T? Miss T. She says, I like how this method utilizes intuition. Yes, it's good. It helps you get out of your way. It really does. It really does. And like I said, since you actually put a card in there, it helps you learn something about the card too. So there you go. Double duty, double duty. I think all these readings that I gave you today are, they have multiple uses or multiple benefits to you. Yes, Miss T said yes, yes. Okay, all right. Let me go back. I'm not sure what else is on the presentation. Let's see what else I got. Okay, yes. So it's just what I just explained. After you finish one envelope, then you do the rest of them. Then you can open it up, and then you can blow your own mind with your insights that you get through your intuition. Okay. All right, so that's all I had for today. The next class is hopefully September 29th. Let me switch back to me. Hopefully the next class is September 29th. That'll be like the last day I'm in Denver. And it's like right now I'm thinking like, yeah, this should be fine. I'll be in a hotel. I should be able to get on Wi-Fi. We should be able to do something. But I don't know. Like anything could happen. But I hate to not be consistent with the class. So I guess what I'm going to do is just expect an email and a Facebook notification about the middle of the week, whether it's going to happen or not. And then it still could not happen. Because you just don't know till you get there. You don't know. But hopefully I should maybe have a better feeling about whether I can pull it off or not. I'm not sure. But that's what I'm thinking. And I was thinking, I could just do like a Ask Me Anything, but I don't know. I don't think we have enough people. I don't think we have enough people to like really support that. So I don't know. Do you guys have any thoughts or ideas about next week? Let me switch to the chat. Since I'll be out of town in a different place. No thoughts, no feelings. Do you guys have any thoughts or ideas about next week? Yes, Leslie says life sometimes gets in the way. I know, and it's been kind of bumpy. Like I took a break in July, and then ever since I've been back, it's been kind of bumpy. So it's like I feel bad because like I want to make it consistent, but it's just been kind of like, So, yeah. Yes, Leslie says life sometimes gets in the way. I know, and it's been kind of bumpy. Like I took a break in July. If nobody has any questions, that'll be it for today. It's kind of short. Sorry about that, but that's all I could get my brain to really do. It's been like I said, you could tell from the presentation, and my brain's been a little like, whoo, like all over the place. It's like, come on, we gotta put something together here. And it's like, oh, I'm all over the place. So, do you guys have any questions about anything? Anything with tarot? Leslie says, don't beat yourself up. Thank you. I appreciate that. Julia says, I like the daily exercises you challenge us with. Good. I'm gonna keep doing that. I'm gonna try to be more. I've been more consistent on the Facebook page. I can say that much. So yeah, and I've got some stuff for this week lined up, and I can't believe I'm actually going to Colorado by this weekend. I thought there was another week in there, and then I looked at the calendar and I was like, oh my God, no. I'm gonna keep doing that. Okay, thank you, Miss T. Thank you. Okay, then. All right. Well, I will. Leslie says, well, the book I mentioned at the start is. What is the book I mentioned at the start? It is by Marcus Katz and Tally Goodwin. It's called Tarot Face to Face. Tarot Face to Face with by Marcus Katz and Tally Goodwin. That is the book. All right. Well, then I'm going to say goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, and I'll see you in 2 weeks. So keep throwing your cards, and I'll see you next time.